Good morning. You are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Morning Buzz Thursday editions. I'm your host, Josh, aka Josh. And as always, I'm joined with
the co-host, Kenny. No, I messed up the nickname. The man of 1,000 nicknames, Kenny Horn, and our newscaster,
Hey, what up? I'm Carly. Just Carly.
just Carly. No last name, just Carly, and our
Yeah, that,
newest contributor,
not iCarly.
Did you say a news contributor?
events contributor.
Oh, event. Okay, my ears misheard.
Okay.
It is your boy Isaiah coming at you live. The
Kenny, are you trying to start
events
beef?
contributor.
I think Kenny is trying to start stuff between all of our contributors here.
Just
He's trying
backstage
to
heat,
divide
guys.
us.
We all hate each other.
That's right.
Oh,
Carly, can I recommend you the nickname You Carly? Because you've heard of iCarly, but you've never heard of You Carly.
Maybe meet Carly.
how about our Carly?
Okay, I like that.
Our collective
Do
Carly.
you have a
Yeah,
Reddit
you know what?
thread
You
based on
Carly, we'll go
yourself?
with that. We'll go with that.
That could work. That could work. I like you, Carly.
You, Carly.
That works.
All right, look at that. We're already productive within the first 1 minute of the show. Amazing.
I say we can just wrap it here.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right,
you guys
guys.
for listening to the Morning Buzz. I have been Josh, aka Josh. Oh, if I was
Bye.
quicker on the board, I would have played something.
We could have. We definitely could have.
Well, we gotta get into the news first. We can't just
Of
end
course. Of course.
without saying nicknames.
Right. We can't just do like our nickname game and then just dip. That's not our priority today, but let's get right into the news. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Morning Buzz. I'm your news contributor, Carly Campbell, and this is today's top stories. First and foremost, Democrats in the Senate are set to propose legislation to increase the Supreme Court justice count from 9 justices to 13. This comes as the previous Trump administration has brought a largely conservative majority with 3 new justices, all leaning right. More than 100 companies have signed a letter calling for the end of voter restrictions in Georgia. This comes after a recent bill proposed and then later approved. Companies such as Amazon, Apple, Starbucks are some of the names calling for the end to these new restrictions. This is not just the only action. Will Smith has pulled a production out of Georgia. The House of Representatives have created legislation to create reparations for African Americans. The House Judiciary Committee voted 25 to 17 to advance this bill. Finally, today's weather will be cold and soggy here in Montclair with a high of 58 and a low of 41, with most likely nonstop rain and cloud. We're in Seattle territory here in Montclair with our current forecast, so please pack your umbrella and your coats. And one more thing before I sign off. Happy birthday to my little brother. He is turning 18. If you're listening to this, Dylan, what up? You owe me some candy or whatever. I don't know. You owe me something. I swear. You have to owe me something. Either way, happy birthday, Dylan. Love you. Hope you and mom are doing all right. Tell the dog I said hi. That concludes the newscast for today. I am Carly, or you, Carly, depending on. I think you, Carly, might just be the next nickname, but I'm out.
Oh,
Happy birthday!
go, brother Campbell. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Woo! Amazing. I was waiting on it. I wanted to say it right after. I wanted to play it right after, but happy birthday, young Campbell.
That's right. All right, let's move on over to the 2-minute warning, our sportscast. Tommy, our sportscaster, he's going to take it away.
Hey, good morning. Sorry about that. just waking up, How y'all doing?
Doing pretty well. I'm excited to hear you talk about some sports. I'm actually in a sports kind of mood. So get right to it.
All right, but let's get into it. Just give me one sec here. All right, so to start off with today's sportscast, LA Rams superstar Aaron Donald has been accused of assault, which resulted in alleged victims hospitalized for bad cuts and broken bones. No further detail on whether he will remain with the Rams or not for the 21 season. In the MLB, the Yankees fell short to the Toronto Blue Jays 4-5, while the Mets beat the Phillies 5-1, winning their third straight in the series and moving up to first place in the NL East division. The Mets will look to go for the home series sweep today at 12:10. In the NBA, the 76ers beat the Nets 123-117, and the Knicks defeated the New Orleans Pelicans 116-106. All local teams play at 7 p.m. tonight for NHL. The Rangers and Devils play Game 2 of their fourth straight meeting at Madison Square Garden. The Islanders are on the road taking on the Boston Bruins, and the Flyers travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins. And to wrap up today's quick sportscast, there is only one sports game that will be taking place today. Men's baseball team is on the road as they play Rutgers Newark at 3:30 p.m. That's all we have today for sports.
Thank you,
Tommy.
Tommy.
Hopefully it doesn't rain
You're
out
welcome.
that game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the rain today.
The clouds look very ominous outside.
Yeah, stop the rain. This is not Seattle. This
Gosh,
is
are you
New
just bringing in the
Jersey.
ASMR NPR voice you got there? Like the
Yes.
rains are getting crazy.
The sky darkens as the
The
rain
sky
falls.
is falling.
Okay, my
in
little brother
general.
just DM'd me that he didn't see or hear it. So once more, Dylan, happy birthday. If you
Happy-
did not see it, you now see it now.
Happy birthday!
Oh my god.
Woo! Happy birthday. We're not gonna get into the whole birthday song. We should have the birthday song on here. I feel like it would get a lot of use.
Don't you have to
Probably
pay like
would.
royalties or something?
Statistically, it has to be someone's birthday every day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the remix
You
by
know, if you're in a
Pitbull?
room of 23 people, there's a 50% chance that
Yeah.
some people share a birthday.
We did that experiment in my math class. It was nobody shared the same birthday, which was interesting.
Mm,
It was the other side of the coin. That just happens. Just happens.
but
What?
we do have a special guest on here.
You beat me to it. The special
I
guest
know.
for right now is former Buzz host Kaya Masiak. She's a traitor, but she has come back for a
Hot.
short segment on what's going on with Town Hall and MSU residence life.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Kaya.
Oh, it's cool to be back here. The vibes are just electric. You know what I mean? I haven't had such an energetic 8 o'clock in the morning conversation in a very long time, so it's awesome to be back.
If I'm having conversations at 8 in the morning, I don't like it. I'd rather be sleeping. But
Yeah.
You can't let everyone else know that. That's the key.
hmm
that's
Look, sorry, I
right.
woke up at 6:20 and I was panicking because none of my alarms went off and I thought I overslept.
Oh,
But we're
that's
here now.
fun.
We're partying. We got air horns. That's not an air horn. Air horn. Kaya,
You're
what
gonna
do you
have
have
to teach me
tell
how to
us?
do that.
I know. It's part of the sound
A
effects
simple
panel.
click of a button.
That is true. So I'm here to talk about the town hall event that happened yesterday. And Carly was actually there as well. So kind of what was going on around the town hall event, there are representatives from the Student Development and Campus Life, the Dean of Students, the Residence Life, University of Health Center, and Dining and ID Card Services. And all of these panelists came together to address the new modification of the guest policy, and also just in an attempt to calm down the rising tensions just between residence life and residents themselves. And one of the first things that happened was there were just opening remarks about wanting to finish up the semester, and the panelists urging that, yes, we are hearing you, we are hearing your complaints, and we want to have more of these town hall events to hear your concerns and to do the best that we can possibly do. And one of the really important remarks that I heard towards the end of the town hall event was from Dean Carter, the new dean herself, saying that in terms of these policies, we as a university, other universities are actually coming to, us actually to just hear the, just to listen to what we have in our policies, which I thought was really interesting, because a lot of these policies are what students are currently upset with and are questioning. So Dean Carter is not the new dean of students. I have to correct myself on that. But anyway, moving forward, one of the other topics that were discussed was, what is the reliability of the hot check, right? In terms of commuters, because if commuters are not getting tested, then how do we know that they're being, in quotes, forthcoming? And one of the answers that was received was, well, they're trying to keep the same level of trust between residents and commuters. So that is definitely something that is definitely something that was something that was discussed in the event itself. And then also another important thing was, how can students actually anonymously report cases and not make it clear? For instance, you're living it on an on-campus apartment and you feel like your roommate might have contracted the virus. How do you anonymously report without the roommate per se knowing that it was you? So that was like a very interesting point. And another really thing that kind of struck me was that in terms of getting food, because a lot of students have been complaining, saying that, well, if we can't go to grocery stores, right, then how are we going to get our food if we can't leave campus and we have to fill out waiver forms? And the representative from the dining services said that they're actually working on a collaboration with like a nearest Walmart or Target, or, actually more of like a grocery store chain. So like Whole Foods, to see if they can actually have a special delivery service to campus students themselves. So I thought that was really interesting. And another thing towards the end that was also discussed was, do students that are fully vaccinated have to continue getting tested? And as of right now, they're saying that yes, they do have to get tested because of the new variants, and that they just want to be extremely cautious, and that there's no guidelines instilled right now saying that, especially in higher ed, that students that are vaccinated shouldn't continue to be getting tested.
That is great. That was a lot of information. I'm curious about, I don't know which of you live on campus. I know Carly does.
I
have
do.
no idea about the rest of you.
I think Josh does. I know Mia definitely does not live on campus.
Mia, the UK contributor, definitely does not. But how do you as residents feel about this?
I mean, I'm glad that they're even, I don't want to obviously be negative. Obviously, these are my opinions. And also, I did an article about this. I think it's a good thing that they're trying to reach out to students, but I don't know if they're going to be doing enough, so to speak.
Mhm.
Because I'm glad that they're finally doing delivery. I was in quarantine for about, I think it was like about twice in like the span, like twice in like a month, like literally back to back. And I had to go out and get my own food. I'm glad that they're delivering. I know that some people might be a little upset about delivery times and all that, but I'm glad that they're doing delivery.
That actually reminds me. So students actually had the opportunity to submit questions during the town hall event. And there was kind of like a lack of transparency because you didn't see the questions they were writing in. They were kind of just choosing and selecting, which I thought was kind of a bit odd because I really wanted to see the statements that students were submitting. But again, it's a webinar event, so there needs to be a level of like remaining cautious, right? But one of the things was, well, students that are currently in isolation were not actually receiving food. Usually they kind of drop off like a plastic bag of like oranges or crackers or something, but some students were actually not being fed in a sense. So that's something that they definitely had to address as well.
It's crazy. I didn't even know that.
The one thing that I thought they were going to address, but they never did, was the waivers, because like obviously you should be filling out waivers, but the thing is there isn't really any enforcement. Like I had asked a question and I was hoping, oh, maybe someone else asked a similar question, whether or not waivers were actually going to be enforced. Like would there be measures in place to ensure that someone leaving campus has a waiver for leaving campus? And I think they'll most likely answer it today, if not ever. But the other thing I noticed was someone had asked questions about the parade. I don't know, like, I get that they were trying to say move on, and obviously this was something that a lot of people had umbrage over.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's the biggest problem is, of course, the lack of transparency and communication on multiple parts of the school, whether it be undergraduate admissions tours or res life. A lot of policies that they were making and a lot of things weren't lining up with each other, and there's a lot of hypocrisy on the part of res life. saying that transmission of coronavirus isn't coming from on campus, yet you're still not allowed to see your friends that are on campus, so that kind of, 2 and 2 didn't add up. But then you add number 3, which is bringing even more people from off campus onto campus, and it's kind of like, what do, you know? So I think a lot of things weren't adding up, and they're trying to address that. And I mean, people are going to be upset when you restrict them each in different way, left, right, up, and down. And sometimes, you have to do what's best for the community, because these are the people you should be caring about, not, fighting them in that kind of sense. And even on the Red Hawk quarantine menu type stuff, when it comes to being quarantined, when it comes to getting food, that wasn't a thing till I think this semester. So if last semester, if you had it, you were screwed. But even then, like, I had to self quarantine a couple weeks back, and I was looking at the Red Hawk menu. Luckily, I shared double with myself, so they're like, you can stay in your room, just be cautious. But since I live in the village, I was just thinking, how were they going to get the food all the way there? And they're saying that they would put it at the front desk. So would that mean I'd have to walk out to Abbott and Costello Hall, walk out of my room, out of my dorm, into another building to get food, to walk back? That kind of stuff, it doesn't really add up. So there's not really measures put in place to ensure that everyone is being taken care of.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. Kaya, do you have any final thoughts about this whole topic?
In the first off, I just want to say that I think in part of the administrators, the panelists that were hosting the event, they really came through in a timely manner, because these concerns through residents and even commuters, through just the student body, was escalating at a really high rate. And right in the middle of all of it, we received this email: we hear you, and that we have these town hall events to try to tend or calm the storm. So I think that was really proactive on their part, to be like, okay, let's answer your most pressing concerns as of right now. I think that was good on their part. And being a student on campus and hearing that they were addressing really just those concerns, such as hawk checks, waiver forms, limiting the amount of people in tours, food distribution. Those are the majority of concerns that students were voicing, and they were touched upon. Were they touched upon in the likely manner or to the detail that we would have wanted? Maybe not so much. However, there is another town hall event today at, I believe, 7 p.m. And they plan to continue having these town hall events later on. And I think for their first try at this, I think it was actually, I wouldn't say a success, but I think it was definitely a good job done. And it was just, it was really informative to hear their perspective and to know that, there are new things that they want to instill, such as, food, just like new menus and having new late night options for students. So yeah, I mean, there are certain things that could have been addressed or could have been more so elaborated on, like Josh explained, in terms of just food delivery when you're in isolation. But again, this is just the first town hall event.
Yeah, that's a great point, that there's a lot more to come. Kaya, thank you for coming on. Only if it was briefly, we'd love to have you for more, but we've got a lot in store today. Thank you, and let's move on to the next segment. Mia Lewington is our UK contributor. She is going to tell us all the things that are going on across the pond, as they say. Who's they? I'm thinking too much. Mia, take it away.
Westerners.
So you may already know about Prince Philip passing away peacefully at Windsor Castle on the 9th of April. My condolences go out to those who loved him, However, it seems as if the UK has been divided by his death. On the same day as his death, the live TV channels BBC and ITV pulled their usual programming schedule to air wall-to-wall coverage of his passing. This led to a 60% decline in viewers compared to 1 week previous. The BBC has since set up a dedicated complaints line after being inundated with backlash over the move, which saw the final MasterChef, along with episodes of EastEnders, The Graham Norton Show, and Gardener's World, pulled off air.
Wow. Okay. I don't know why this is really funny to me, but the fact that this is such a clash of ages in the sense of, you have the royal family, which has been established for hundreds of years,
Yeah.
and his passing, Prince Philip's passing, resulted in a decline of viewership. There's some person was like, what is this? Where's my master chef? And at that point, it's like, as the people in charge of the UK, like say the parliament or something, or whoever the media people are, it's like, is the royal family not more important? It's like you have to value your assets in the sense that, oh my gosh,
Do you
that's
know
just
what?
amazing to me.
I've actually noticed that most Gen Zs don't actually know the royals' last name. They don't know that they are called Windsor.
I was going
And
to ask you.
yeah, so yeah, I'm not surprised by the 60% decline, but realistically in school, we aren't really taught that much about the royal family. Like, we know they exist, we know who the Queen of England is. A lot of people, I don't think, even know her first name, but
Wait,
you know,
Elizabeth.
it
know
is, yeah,
Isabel and
it is.
French.
Oh god, you got. I thought I was getting.
No, it is
I was getting
Elizabeth. It's
tricked.
just a lot of people, they just don't. It's almost as if they're just another family there that exist in the world, who people know
Yeah.
about, but they don't really like follow and all of that.
Mhm.
I was sort of having an argument with my mum at one point, saying like about how little royalists there are in the UK now, and how there's probably more royalists in America compared to the UK, even though the royal family is over here. So I don't I mean, I don't know what like American opinions are of the royal family, but from what I've seen on TV and how so many people look up to them and are so good about like
You got it. Thanks, Roger.
just knowing about what's going on with them, it's a lot, Americans are a lot more into the royals than the UK, which is really just weird. It's really weird.
I think a lot of the grandeur of the royal family has been lost in the sense of, I guess, time, and with the advent of like reality TV and celebrities, it's kind of, that sentiment of they're another family.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of like how this is going to be a really stupid analogy, but the royal family to the UK, in my opinion, I'm not speaking for the whole of the UK, but in my opinion, is like the Kardashians to the USA. They're just another rich family.
Our general manager would hate that comparison.
I remember when she was talking about our general manager, she was talking about that. She said, "Don't bring up the Kardashians."
Listen,
Well, that's just
listen.
her personal beef with the Kardashians.
Oh, I don't like the
But no, I
Kardashians
think
at all.
it's a good analogy because a majority of Americans will say, I don't bring them up. I hate them.
I
Did
mean,
Prince
I hate
William drop 808s and Heartbreak? I don't think so.
I mean,
but
it's
but
like,
you're right.
are you saying, Carly, wait a minute, Carly, are you saying that Kanye is to America what Meghan Markle is to the UK?
No. I'm
Okay, I
saying
thought
that
that's what you were saying.
I'm saying that he's like Prince William. Like, everyone knows him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't follow either of them at all. So
But you do bring up a good point, Mia, that other countries, especially America, we love our royal family. I shouldn't even say our royal family, your royal family.
Yeah.
I think it's all that American entitlement. They want to be special.
That's right.
They have all this freedom. I got all this freedom, but I can't rule anyone.
Like
I'm
there's
not.
those huge deals about like royal weddings and all that.
Yeah, yeah. I guess. William and Kate's wedding, that was pretty big. Like, especially oh, since Diana and her death as well. Like, that was majorly big. But now it's almost gotten to that point where it's like, how much drama has to come out from this family for everyone to know about until enough is enough? When can they start just living their life as normal people, in a
The
sense, like a
Windsors.
normal family?
Mm.
Yeah, but like,
The Windsors.
they're not
In
normal.
50
They are
years,
still
there's going to be a
human.
sitcom.
It's just a bit like,
Yeah.
stay out of their business. Everyone has an opinion about them, and it's just
Mm.
no opinion will be exactly the same. And it's like, why does one single family have to have so many people looking at them and judging them? That's why I don't really understand why people want to become celebrities, want to become famous, because it gets too much. It's too much for a single person to be able to handle. And exactly when Meghan Markle went on to Oprah and was talking about her mental health, I mean, I didn't watch it, but the amount of stuff that I heard come out of it, and the amount of quotes that I read about it, it's just,
Mm.
she
Mm.
clearly wasn't ready for the amount of bad negative judgments that she got, and it caused a bit of an issue for her. And I just think, what's the point? What's the
Yeah.
point in having
Well,
royals if this is how people are going to treat them?
the royalty in general is based off of, an old standing tradition.
Mm,
So
Mm.
while we say, why are these people famous? They're famous because of
yeah.
how they were born.
Oh
And
yeah,
think
yeah,
Right.
about Prince Philip, almost 100 years old.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he was
Yeah, if
kind
he if
of born
he
into where he was.
if he
And he
lived,
had a long life of naval service, all that stuff. I was
yeah.
reading up on him, and I think it was interesting, to be living in the public eye like that, in the sense
Mm,
of, while I was researching the royal family, I was hearing about all these grandkids that I've
oh
never heard
god,
about. We've heard about the princes, the
yeah.
sons of Diana, but there's a lot of other grandkids, and I'm like, oh, this person's just an equestrian.
I think they have about 7 in total.
Yeah.
Well, now the queen has 7 in total. Yeah. um I actually find it kind of weird. Well, not weird, but like, it makes sense that America is really into the royals, because obviously you don't have a royal family for America. You have just the government, and that's it. But
Mhm.
the UK, we had the royal family before we had the government. So I guess in
Yeah.
a sense it makes sense why America is so into the royals, because you've never really had that kind of royalty figure there
Yeah,
that
we
rules
were
your country.
we're based off of that. We said no more of that. We're being
Yeah.
oppressed by the king. Off with the king, not like off with his head type deal, but like off
Yeah.
with him. Like, we're gonna go off to a different place and build our own government. And speaking of government, when we get back, we have a chat with the mayor of Paterson, New Jersey. He is here with us today. All that and more when we come back on the Morning Buzz.
You are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
And we are back, as you heard, on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. My name is Josh, aka Josh, and this
I
is
am the man of
Thursday morning.
1,000 nicknames, Kenny Horn.
Kenny Horn. You have been listening to the Thursday edition of the Morning Buzz. We just talked to our UK contributor. We talked some events that are going on campus, or not events. Sorry, Isaiah. I'm not trying to overstep you, but some things that happened yesterday. And now we have a special interview, Kenny.
Yes, we do, with the mayor of Paterson, New Jersey, Mayor Andre Saya. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's fun to say that, Mr. Mayor, for being here.
Thank you, Kenny, the man of 1,000 nicknames. And before we're done, I'm going to give you 1,001. I'll add
Yes!
to it.
Yes, thank you so
That's a
much.
nice ring
So
to
the
it.
reason that we have you on is we want to talk about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine
Sure.
and how that's affecting Paterson, because that's a big hotspot for vaccinations. And you also got that one recently. So
did.
before we get into it, how are you feeling?
I feel fine. If you want me to do some push-ups right now, I'll do it. I can do about 25.
25?
Yes, 25.
Okay.
Uninterrupted.
Solid.
And I also want to start off by saying I was this close to being a Red Hawk when I was, yes, many moons ago. I had a choice between Montclair State University and Seton Hall University. Sorry, guys, I chose Seton Hall University because Glenn Schuck went there, and I wanted to follow in his footsteps. So the great Glenn Schuck is what did the trick for me. I'm sure you
That's
listened to him on
understandable.
10-10 wins. They give you 22 minutes and Glenn Schuck.
That's a hard bargain to drive.
Yeah. So let's talk about J&J. That was a setback for us, and I'll tell you why. We had a homebound program, so we were visiting our senior citizens that couldn't leave their apartments, their houses, and we were using Johnson & Johnson because it makes sense, right? One visitation, one vaccination. Also, it adversely affected us as far as our homeless population is concerned. Same thing. They're hard to reach. One visitation, one vaccination. We're also going to our rehabilitation centers, people in recovery. We're using Johnson & Johnson. All of the aforementioned programs have been put on hold until further notice. Just heard Dr. Fauci on 10-10 wins, believe it or not, while I was listening to Glenn Schuck. And he says it's going to take about 7 to 10 days to review. So that's what science does, right? You pause, you review, look at the data, see if there's a correlation. And if there isn't, I mean, what are you talking about? 6 women out of 6.8 million people who were vaccinated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I mean, sadly, a woman did die and another one is in critical condition. But we have to see if there is a direct link between the blood clots that these women developed. And these are women between the ages of 18 and 48. From what I understand, 3 of the women were obese. So we're not sure what some of the contributing factors are, but we have to analyze the entire situation from every aspect of it, because we are scrambling to get more Moderna vaccines. And we just partnered with St. Joe's Hospital to get Pfizer. Now, Pfizer requires special refrigeration. It has to be in sub-zero temperatures. So that precludes our health department from storing it. So that's why we have to rely on the hospital. But we're pivoting. Not sure if you're football fans, but you have to call an audible every now and then. And we just did that. So Kenny, I got to come up with a nickname for you later. You look a little like Tom Brady. I'm not going to call you TB12.
I appreciate that. I'm a Giants fan, so I really appreciate that.
So am I, Kenny. I knew I liked the Yankee aspect of your paraphernalia. I didn't appreciate, but yes, I like. Now you're looking more like Eli Manning. Thank you. Or Danny, Danny Dimes, or Danny Dimes there.
That's yeah.
And by the end of the show, I'll call you Saquon Barkley. How about that?
Go for it. Go for it. Appreciate it. As long as I don't tear my ACL, I'll be happy. But
that's true. He was in Paterson not too long ago.
I didn't know that.
There's a Jamaican restaurant that he frequents. He patronizes Stone, my buddy Andre Stone, no relation. Well, that's the first name. And he loves their jerk chicken. And he was there, and I was there too.
That's interesting. All right, we're gonna jump back to this topic. So I'm curious how this is going to, like, for the next week or even past that, how this is going to affect projections and when it's expected to have this more under control.
So Tuesday, when the CDC and FDA announced or recommended that we put J&J on hold, my public health officer said we have to cancel Tuesday's sessions. And we had appointments and we had walk-ins. And we sometimes get 600 walk-ins on a given day. Patersonians, that's our demonym, by the way. Our demonym, Patersonians, one of my favorite demonyms, along with what they call themselves in Los Angeles, Angelinos. That's a good demonym as well. But nevertheless, we had to cancel. Thank God for the governor's office. They got us Moderna yesterday. We were able to inoculate 300 people. Today, after this interview on the Morning Buzz, I'm heading over to our pod, our point of dispensing, to greet everyone, assure them that we're not using J&J, because yesterday when I was working the line, everybody was asking, Mayor, are we getting J&J? Because we don't want that. So what happens? It contributes to vaccination hesitancy, which is what we're trying to combat. I have a commercial airing on Cablevision with Harold Reynolds of the MLB Network. And the theme is, I'm not throwing away my shot, and neither should you. And that's a nod to, of course, the musical Hamilton. And Kenny, I'm not sure if you know, Alexander Hamilton is the founder of the city of Paterson.
I did not know that.
Yes, hold on.
That's really
It's
interesting.
him.
Ah, Now I feel like I have to see Hamilton.
Yeah, I saw it 10 times
10
in one day.
in one day.
I
Seriously?
think that's a Guinness record.
Yes, it is. It's got to be.
I was being facetious, please.
All right, good. I was thinking, I'm like, is there enough time for
I
that?
think Josh was
And he was
laughing
doing,
behind
and he was
that
doing the
mask there.
calculations. I am laughing behind the mask.
Thank you.
Kenny
I
was
used to do
very
stand
deep
up,
in
and
thought.
then they told me to sit down. That's why I'm seated right now.
That's great.
We have a crowd
All right.
out.
We've also heard that Paterson, that the government's allocated $94 million to revitalize the Hinchcliffe Stadium, which
Yes.
was big on racial justice, and that's something that we're actually focusing on at Montclair State this
Thank
semester.
you.
Can you talk about that?
Sure. So Hinchcliffe Stadium was built during the Great Depression, and it opened in 1932. By 1933, it not only hosted the Negro League's World Series, but it also became the home field for the New York Black Yankees and the New York Cubans. So when African Americans were excluded, or should I say barred from participating in Major League Baseball, they had a home at Hinchcliffe Stadium. They played in Paterson. It's a historic treasure. It's a piece of American history. And we want to tell that narrative to the people, because there's only two stadiums still standing in the United States that hosted Negro League games. One is in Birmingham, Alabama. It's Rickwood Field. And the other one is in Paterson, New Jersey, Hinchcliffe Stadium. A lot of people call it Hinchcliffe. They add that extra C. Kenny, I picked up on that one. That's like a pet peeve, because people sometimes misspell Paterson. They add an extra T like Donald Trump did, and I had to call him out on a tweet.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
But Hinchcliffe Stadium, you had legends play there. And sadly, it has been in disrepair. It's been fallow for about almost 25 years, more like 24 years. So it's been
25 years.
fallow longer than you have been alive.
Oh yeah, easily.
There you
Easily.
go.
So
We also just
And
received,
yesterday, I mean, we were joined by some celebrities who we broke ground on this project. We had former Yankee CC Sabathia, much to my chagrin. We had Willie Randolph, who was a Yankee, but also managed the Mets. We had former general manager of the Mets, Omar Minaya. We had Harold Reynolds from the MLB Network. And we had Larry Doby Jr., the son of Larry Doby, who broke the color barrier in the American League. So 3 months after Jackie Robinson did it, and today is Jackie Robinson Day, right? He broke the color barrier on April 15th, 1947. He broke it 74 years ago today. And the Mets are having a tribute to him. It's Jackie Robinson Day at Citi Field. So Jackie Robinson broke it on April 15th, 1947 in the National League with the Brooklyn Dodgers. But then some 3 months later, Larry Doby does it with the Cleveland Indians on July 5th, 1947. Not to be outdone. I mean, think about it. Those different leagues, and they didn't play at that time. There wasn't any interleague play. The only time they played was during the World Series, American versus National Leagues. So they both, Larry Doby and Larry Doby went to Eastside High School here in Paterson. They both faced the same level of racism, hatred, and vitriol.
can you speak to more about how this is it's helping spread the awareness of racial justice?
Well, there's a lot of social consciousness around racism, right? With the recent events that have unfolded in our country, with the tragedy of George Floyd, and what just recently happened again in Minneapolis, Brooklyn Center. So what we're saying is that sports was a driving force in integrating American society. There's no doubt that it did it. And because Hinchcliffe Stadium was welcoming to the Negro Leagues and was essentially a Negro League stadium, it sent a strong message towards integration. Just recently read George Shuba, who ultimately became a utility outfielder with the Brooklyn Dodgers. He played with Jackie Robinson when both of them were with the minor league affiliate of the Dodgers in Montreal. Well, actually, they didn't play in Montreal. They played at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City. But the Montreal Royals, and there was a famous game, April 18th, 1947, where Jackie Robinson in his second at bat gets his first hit in his minor league career. It was a home run. It was a 3-run round tripper, and he was circling the bases, around in the bases. He gets home plate, and George Shuba extended his hand. That was symbolic. A white man extending his hand to a black man to shake his hand. It was called the handshake for the century. It was featured in ESPN's Undefeated. And now, to pay tribute, in George Shuba's hometown, Youngstown, Ohio, this Sunday to commemorate the 75th anniversary of that handshake of the century. They're unveiling a statue of Jackie Robinson and George Shuba shaking hands.
Wow.
Something as simple as a handshake, because at that time it was discouraged.
Oh yeah, no, I could completely believe that. It's handshake. It's respect. It's putting you on an equal level.
That's right. Exactly. Very good. And Kenny, if you've seen the movie 42,
I have
the late
not.
and
I've been meaning
lamented,
to.
the late and lamented Chadwick Boseman. One of the pivotal scenes in that movie, or poignant scenes in that movie, is when Pee Wee Reese puts his arm around Jackie Robinson.
Yeah,
But that came after what I just explained as far as George Shuba is concerned.
Yeah, that's friendship. That's camaraderie, and that's something that Black people and other races have faced problems with for centuries.
Correct.
And it's good that Paterson's allocating money for this. And what can you speak about other than just, Hinchliffe Stadium? As apparently it's Hinchliffe. Didn't know that.
Good, Kenny.
That's right. I'm
Good.
learning.
caught
I'm
himself.
learning.
You redeemed yourself in my eyes.
Yes.
So
He's earned
behind
that
me, I don't know if you
nickname.
see it, there's a rendering. That's Lou Costello Memorial Park. Lou Costello of the famous Abbott and Costello comedy duo. As a matter of fact, Abbott and Costello are enshrined, or they've been inducted into Cooperstown, the Baseball Hall of Fame, the only two non-baseball players.
Who's
because
on
of the
first?
Who's on first
Mhm.
routine. Lou Costello hailed from Paterson. He was a proud, what's our demonym again?
Patersonian.
Patersonian, very good. So we're renovating a park, $1.2 million, federal, mostly federal funds. And this park will have a special feature. It will be the first of its kind in our city to accommodate children with autism.
Wow.
Yes,
It's
big
amazing.
deal. And it's taking place right now. Kenny, Josh, I cordially invite you to come down here. You see for yourself, visit Hinchliffe Stadium, visit Lou Costello Park, see the before pictures, and then appreciate the after. We also have the Great Falls, and we're building a first-class visitor center at the Great Falls, which is the symbol of our city, because we want to become a top-notch tourist attraction. And the visitor center is going to be named after none other than our founder, Alexander Hamilton.
That was great, Mayor
Thank
Saya.
you,
Do you
sir.
have any final thoughts here as we wrap up?
I really appreciate the opportunity. I enjoyed the experience. I don't know if you'll have me on in the future.
We'd love to. You got a
we'd
great
love
radio
to.
personality.
And I got a great face for radio. Thank you. That's what they tell me all the time.
We've heard that one.
You've heard that one? I can't even see your
Oh,
face,
maybe.
Josh. I can't even tell if you have a great radio face.
Oh, believe it, you just have to take my word for it.
Thanks,
Paterson, such a historic city. It was great to have you on to talk about it, talk about the amazing things you're doing. And my mind just went blank.
Well, I'm still trying to think. I mean, Kenny's starting to, like I said, he looks like Daniel Jones. They call him Danny Dimes. I don't want to call you Kenny Penny.
We
who
need
knows?
that last extra nickname.
There you
That's
go,
right.
Kenny Penny.
About
I'm gonna start.
I don't know
I'm
if he
gonna
likes that
start
one.
saying the man of 1,001 nicknames.
oh man,
Reminds me of a
always is.
wrestler. I don't know if you remember. You're too young. It was Mil Mascaras. He was the man of 1,000 masks.
Oh,
Yes.
did not know that.
When my wife tells me all the time, I'm fraught with frivolous facts. I taught at MSU for 5 years, so the poor students had to be subjected to that as well. Yeah, I just saw that in the chat. Quality luchador. They know who Mil Mascaras was.
Yeah, Isaiah knows. He's lurking, but
That's impressive. Is he fraught with frivolous facts as well?
he seems like someone who's fraught with frivolous facts.
Yes, very good.
He seems
Kenny
like
Penny, you know we're 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. I expect you to have a mock draft pretty soon. Who are we going to get at 11?
I
want a linebacker.
That's
You're
tough.
getting quizzed.
That is tough. Ooh, that's too hard of an answer.
People think the Heisman Trophy winner is going to drop and land in our lap. Devontae Smith. I don't know about that. We need a linebacker.
Yeah.
Last 3 years, Gettleman's gone offense in the first round.
Yeah.
We got to solidify our defense.
Yeah. No, completely. Completely
Every
agree.
time we win a championship, obviously we have a steady, stable quarterback, but we also have an impressive.
Solid defense.
Yes, we do, sir.
And that's what got
dating
us
back
to the
LT
playoffs.
Carl Banks, Harry Carson, and then
That's what-
Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan,
Yeah.
O.C. Umenyiora.
Yeah, and that's what got us to the playoffs a few years ago. It wasn't much the offense, it was the defense.
Yes, but Eli won both MVPs.
Yes, he did. Yes,
You
he
cannot spell elite without Eli. Remember that, Kenny.
did. I will remember that. Thank you, Marcia, for coming on. We really appreciate it. Keep up doing what you're doing in Paterson. And
We'll
for
do
all
our
the
best, and you guys are
Patersonians.
welcome to visit us. I mean that, and you let me know when you want to come.
I will do. I've never been to Paterson. Sounds like I have to go.
Oh, come on,
See, now you have to go,
Kenny.
Kenny.
Oh my God!
And I was doing
It's like
so well.
strike three.
Strike three? No.
Well, the
Kenny.
Yankee paraphernalia. You called it Hinchcliffe, and now you say you never went to Paterson. I'm keeping score. So much for redemption.
I tried. I mean, I really
You
tried.
did.
You
You
gave
gave
it.
the
You gave
old
it your all.
It was a
College
valiant
try.
effort.
The college try.
Yes, the college try.
We'll meet at the Red Hawk Diner, all of us. Thank you.
We'll meet it. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes. Thank you, man.
You've been listening to 90.3 WMSC
guys.
Upper Montclair. When we get back, more Morning Buzz. And we are back here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Morning Buzz Thursdays edition. My name is Josh, aka Josh.
I am the man of 1,001 nicknames. Kenny Horn, joined by our news contributor.
It's you, Carly, I think now?
Yes, it's you, Carly.
At this point, it's
Nice.
Alphabet Carly.
Alphabet Carly. Yeah. I like
Alphabet
that.
Carly. That works. And our events contributor who's not going to be talking to us about events today.
No, because it's a new day, guys, and the events that are not needed for
Sorry,
this
I
discussion.
Horn.
And also, where's my nickname? I need one, guys. Help a brother out.
It took me like 8 weeks to figure out
Your
mine.
job.
Oh, I have to figure it out myself.
Yeah.
Okay,
gotta
okay.
Shoot us some, and then if something happens, isn't it top 5 nickname Isaiah?
Oh, top 5 nickname. Oh, you know what? Well, top 5 Isaiah. That's gonna
Top
be
5
mine.
Isaiah. That works perfectly. But we are going to do one story on the Morning Buzz this morning. We're going to wrap it up with something kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys know this. A while back, there was an escaped beefalo that escaped, I think it was August 3rd. And after more than 250 days on the run, 800 to 900 pound beefalo has been caught in Western Connecticut. So it originally escaped on its way to a slaughterhouse, and he's been nicknamed Buddy. And his adventures, they include appearances on a wildlife camera set up by police and multiple failed attempts to lure him into a pen with food. And this is so big, it's gained widespread attention and inspired like several social media accounts in his name. What happened that he got caught was Buddy. He had wandered onto a farm in town. He was hanging out with some cows, as one does, beefing around with some buddy cows, when the farm owner snagged him and got him into a trailer. And then Plymouth Police Captain Edward Benetti told the Hartford Courant that authorities decided early on in their search not to seek the death penalty for Buddy. And they've raised money for his continued care. So the police said that the beefalo, he will be heading to Massachusetts for a veterinary exam, and then he's going to be sent to Critter Creek Farm Sanctuary in Gainesville, Florida.
That's nice.
That's so nice. I was worried when I read this story. I was like, are they going to send him back
When
to
you
the...
put it in the script, I was like, oh my gosh, the poor beefalo.
I didn't even know what a beefalo was. I
I
thought you
looked it up.
made a mistake.
Pokemon,
I
was
looked it up.
You mean buffalo?
Wow.
It's a mix between a cow and a buffalo, or American bison, I should say.
Wow.
Bison.
Yes, bison.
Yeah, that's what he said when he dropped off his son at school.
So you
Yeah,
think
we
you
have
can
to
funny,
end.
Josh? So you think you can funny?
Yeah, I know I can funny.
That's definitely
You
true.
guys, come on. Yeah, I think that needs some. Oh,
Gosh,
yeah.
no, you're not gonna air horn your way out of this. This is
Yes,
a bad
I
time.
know. What did you say? I can't hear you over there, horn.
Josh,
But-
this is an intervention. You need to recognize
Okay,
that. a
I'll
little
stop the
bit.
air horn. We'll get back to the beefalo. Okay, my hands are off the board. You can see them on Facebook Live. They're on screen. I think this
You're
is
on radio,
very.
you can't see them.
You can hear my hands. I'm clapping in front of the mic. How do you show people your hands audibly?
I think you just
But-
did.
I think it's very interesting to be the point of the farmer. You just wake up one day and you have an extra cow, and you're like, "Who's this? What's he doing there? Stop fraternizing with my cattle."
Fraternizing.
You hoodlum, Beefalo, Runaway. But it's nice that it has a good ending, kind of like Ferdinand the Bull. That's a nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was worried that it would be sent back to the slaughterhouse, but I'm happy to hear that.
Oh, after all this attention, that would
Yeah.
be such outrage.
Yeah, I know. It'd
Kind
be
of reminded me of like the Madagascar movies. So I'm just like imagining like first it's the buffalo, and then he gets like his friends to come with him, and then they go looking for the San Diego Zoo. I was hoping it would be like a whole development of just like a bunch of escaped animals.
Mhm. Sadly, I don't think they can communicate like that.
That's what you think, but do you know?
that's
don't.
true.
Science just isn't there yet.
It isn't
Yeah.
there yet.
We're not
Physical
advanced to
magic.
be on the level of the Beefalo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Beefalo does sound like a Pokemon though.
Beefalo does sound like a
Okay.
Pokemon. But we've got to end on some Pokemon talk. Okay, so Carly, she came prepared with a question today.
Mhm.
Carly, do you
Mhm.
want to ask?
Yeah, sure. So my question was, obviously we've been talking a lot about, like, last week I believe we talked about what type of Pokemon we would have, like what
Yeah.
our favorite type was. So I decided to up the ante a little bit and be like, okay, so if you were a gym leader, which is like one of the if you're not familiar with Pokemon, it's one of the boss levels. There's a bunch of them, usually like around 9, and usually they're specific when it comes to a certain type. So the question of the day was, if you were a gym leader, what type would you be?
Would you?
So I feel like this is very akin to what your favorite type would be.
It is, but it's like you have to think strategically.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I have a professional battle experience in the monotype category. Monotype battles are very interesting in my sense, which is basically you can only have a team of the same type and you battle other teams of the same type.
Hmm.
But I would say, I like ground type Pokemon. It's a solid secondary type. If you slap ground type on something, it's pretty good,
Yeah. Immune to electricity.
Immune to electricity. You have some other ones. It can't hit flying types though, so I might be at a disadvantage against Isaiah's. We'll get into that, but I would say ground type. They're
Well,
solid. There's a lot of secondary types that go along with it.
Yeah. And a lot of times you can learn rock type moves, which can take out the flying ones.
That's true.
Super effective, right?
We don't talk about that, Kenny.
We don't talk about that? Okay.
No,
well,
no, no.
Two
Let's
birds
talk
with
about
one
flying
stone.
then.
All right, so here's my crew. So there's always that one trainer where it's like they have 6 of the same person. So my team is 6 level 50 Pidgeys.
Pidgeys?
Just Pidgeys, not Pidgeot or Pidgeotto, just Pidgeys,
Oh, man.
and 6 of them.
I have a beautiful image of Isaiah being carried by like 6 little birds.
Like
Like
he
he's just
flies in,
arms,
like that.
his
like that
arms are
thing from
spread
Shrek
out
3.
straight. Yep, he's spread out straight, and he has 6 birds, 3 on each arm, just carrying him with all their mightiest. Because Pidgeys, they're basically
They're
the size of a
tiny.
pigeon.
Yeah,
Imagine
yeah.
being carried by 6 Pidgeys, 6 pigeons, and he just lands onto the battlefield.
That is probably the best. Top 5 entrance for Pokemon.
I would say so.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
even top
Anime
1.
entrances, number 5, the Pidgeys.
Number 5, Pidgey trainer Isaiah.
Pidgey trainer. Carly, what's your gym type?
Okay. I'm gonna be honest, and some people are gonna be like, "Wow, that's a horrible choice." I'm gonna say bug type. I love bug type Pokemon. They're some of my favorite designs, and believe it or not, they can take down like a very popular type, Psychic. So like, I'd
Mhm.
have bug types on standby.
Yeah. No,
Types are
they've
pretty
got
solid.
potential.
And in monotype, they're pretty popular.
Yeah. No, you got to get like the good mixed types. Like what's that one? Like
Like a
Scizor?
Galvantula.
Yeah, that one. That
Hmm.
one's new. I don't know it. Yeah.
That's a electric bug. It's like a spider. You throw them out and got some sticky webs. Everyone else is slowed. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Then you got some of the ultra beasts from Sun and Moon. You can throw in what's the buff one? Buzzswole. You throw in one of him. Bug fighting. You
Bug
guys know that
fighting.
Isaiah will take that down though.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's double effective.
my legendary Pidgey crew.
That's right.
He's gonna get pecked.
No, maybe even Gust.
Ooh.
It doesn't even have to touch
Switching
him.
it up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to say that I'm a grass type guy. I have always picked a grass type starter. I got to keep it up with my gym. It's a weak type, but I'm loyal to it.
Mm.
Easily a Torterra though is gonna be in there.
Oh,
Yeah, that's grass ground.
Yes, it is.
I could have a Torterra as well. You know, Pokemon strengths, Pokemon weaknesses, Pokemon's resistances. Resistances is the chart you got to know. Did you know that
Yeah.
ghost types resist bug types?
I didn't know
They
that.
do?
Yeah. And did you know poison types resist fighting types?
Hmm.
There is
There's
your
no way that's
battle
true.
tip. Battle tip of the you're gonna doubt my Pokemon knowledge, Kenny.
I am gonna doubt your Pokemon
He used to be
knowledge.
pro, Kenny.
I used to be pro. People paid me to breed Pokemon.
4-time champ.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Look him up on his stats.
Look
He's
me
actually
up.
72-0 online.
Fight me on PokemonShowdown.com.
Never lost a game in his life.
Never. And you can look that up in the dictionary. You can find me there.
Oh.
For what definition?
Oh yeah, you're going resistances now?
Okay. See, when you said resist, I thought you meant like immune.
No.
No.
Just they take half damage. Same way
Okay.
like normal on rock.
Okay.
Or ice
Okay.
on water. Or grass on fire. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
A
No,
lot of
you're-
discussions we're having here on
Confirmed.
90.3 WMSC.
A lot of informative, and that is your Pokemon talk, your pro tips with Josh. That'll be
What are
like the
you-
final minute of the thing. Thank you all for tuning in to this Thursday on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Of course, I have been Josh, aka Josh.
I've been the man of 1,001 nicknames, Kenny Horn.
I'm you, Carly.
Guys, I'm top 5 Isaiah. Bye.
As I just says bye. And thank you all for listening. The Morning Buzz airs every weekday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And we will be on tomorrow for all of that. I'm sorry, my phone was like, "Bang." I forget to turn off my 9 o'clock alarm always, and it comes on a little late. But thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.